Week 5 of the NFL season is upon us, and Thursday night football, I believe for the second week in a row, if I'm not mistaken, features an NFC West showdown, this time between the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. To help me break down this matchup here, I got Brian Drake. Find him over on X at Drake Fantasy, and I'm going to come right out hot with the question, Drake. Who do you got winning this NFC West showdown between the Niners and Rams?
I think you have to say this is going to be the Rams. They're the only team with anybody healthy. It's, really, I think the Rams, even though they lost to the Eagles, could be the best team in the NFC. I think the Rams have an excellent chance of going to the Super Bowl this year, especially if they can get a couple of home games at SoFi. But, everybody's injured for the 49ers right now. Brock Purdy's got a bad foot. He's got that toe ailment. We didn't see Ricky Pearsall practice. Who knows what's going on with Juwan Jennings? Kittle obviously on IR. I mean, I don't know who we're going to get on these spins here.
Yeah, it's fantasy football. We had talked about before we started recording here. It's a battle of attrition.
Yeah.
And there are many teams in the league, namely the Niners and probably the Ravens, that can speak to it the most right now here. So obviously we're going to spin here. Obviously we're going to talk about Stafford, Purdy, because we'll lock in a quarterback, see what we do there. And then obviously there's going to be 5 flex spots this week. No kicker in this matchup, so we don't have to discuss
what a shame
here. I know. Usually there's nothing more than I love talking about kickers on Thursday night, but we'll see what we get here. And I think you and I kind of talked about it a little bit. There's going to be one guy that if you don't have him, maybe two, if you don't have him in this game, it's going to be really, really tough to win. And of course, Murphy's Law says we don't get either of them on this first spin. But I will tell you, I'm a big Kyren fan in this matchup. I'm going to tell you a little bit about some numbers against zone concept runs for the Niners, as well as Kyren on some zones. But are you with me here on locking in Kyren Williams for Thursday night?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to get my deal. If we could get him and Christian McCaffrey, that would be unbelievable, being Christian McCaffrey the number one player and number one running back in all of fantasy football. But, we know that if the Rams have a lead, especially here in the second half, they're going to salt this thing away. And without very many weapons to challenge this very good Rams defense, what are the 49ers going to do? So I think Kyren, you could see him upwards, 15 to 20 touches in this game.
Absolutely. And you look at it too. I believe, if I remember correctly, when I was looking at the breakdown for this game, I believe when the Rams are leading by a touchdown or more, they have like the 3rd highest run rate in the league, which makes sense. Let Kyren just churn the clock and get yourself some W's. But I was looking at it a little bit more. And I remember coming into the season, ideally, I was looking at the Nick Caley coming over to the Houston Texans.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was going to be some Rams concepts that this guy brought over. Apparently there's not. We're just copying the New England playbook. But that we'll talk about that in the Sunday slate with this downtrodden Texans team. But the McVay and the Rams still use zone concept runs. Mm-hmm. They have been up in the man gap runs a little bit more, but they still continue to do the zone. The last couple of weeks, they've started really kind of leaning on that outside run. You saw it a ton in week 4 against the Colts. Kyren outside run, just defeating that defense that way. So I started looking at it here. Kyren's got 5.14 yards per carry on outside zone runs this season. You know what defense is allowed the highest yards per carry on these types of runs this year, Drake?
Oh boy, lay it on me.
It's the Niners, 6.77 yards per carry and a 9.1% explosive run rate. And it's not like they've only seen 3 outside run carries. Sure, they're a little bit in the lower half of the league in terms of the quantity of those runs faced, but they're injured. Kyren's got a good track record against San Francisco, and I'd expect to see a lot of outside zones against this defense. Like I said, I can't hide it enough. I'm a sucker for Kyren in this matchup.
Yeah, and listen, he's a guy who's controlling the backfield here, even though we are seeing a little bit more Blake Corum, but on the season, 73% of the snaps. He's getting 67% of the rushes here. So I'd like to see a little bit more target out of the backfield. I think that's going to come as the season goes on. But I mean, Kyren Williams, as close to a bell cow as you can get, and especially, we're talking on fantasy spin here, but if you extrapolate it out to season long, everybody keeps forgetting about Kyren. They're like, oh yeah, I want to get one of these 2-3 bell cows at the top of the draft. Everyone forgets about Kyren, and all he does is shove it down your throat and finishes the top 10 running back.
Yep, every single year like clockwork. Go up to the guy handing off the ball to Kyren Williams, obviously Matt Stafford here. When we look at the contest here, you have 2 options at quarterback. That's all you can get. So you got a 50-50 shot at Matt Stafford, Brock Purdy. Obviously a fantasy spin. If a guy doesn't play, you do get their pregame projection. However, Stafford, I guess, is healthy. He seems fine. So everyone else is hurt in this game. He's, I believe so, healthy. Do we use a lock on Matthew Stafford in this matchup? He's been playing very well. I know his ownership in fantasy leagues is skyrocketing here with how he's been playing of late. Would you lock in Matthew Stafford as our quarterback?
Well, we have 2 top 15 finishes back-to-back weeks for Matthew Stafford. But listen, it's not like the 49ers are a pushover here on defense. I know they've got some injuries, they've got some younger players. They give up the 5th fewest points to the quarterback among all teams in the NFL right now in terms of fantasy points per game. What is Purdy's projection, by the way? Do we know, you know that off the top of your head? Because
Like
if you're going to get one or the other here.
I think it was at 14-ish.
I mean, you get 14. Stafford's projected for 15. What's he done the last few weeks here? I just had this pulled up with him. He's number 12 quarterback in all of fantasy. So, I mean, last week, 27. Week before that, 14.8. I wouldn't be heartbroken if we just had to go with Purdy's prediction here. But what do you think? Do you want to lock him in? I'm fine. I'm fine with letting it roll because either way, you're going to end up getting about 15 points.
You got a 50% shot at either one. And I think ultimately, looking at it here, it's kind of weird to almost hope Purdy doesn't play and go that way. But
I think upside there.
Yeah, well, sure. I think what I'm going to be kind of settling in on is let kind of the first 2 spins play out. Do I have, say, Kyren and Puka? If so, maybe I let my build kind of make the decision for me. Not to cop out. You know how like you have your picks in the draft and you're like, well, I'm going to take the second pick because I'm between 2 and I don't want to make the wrong one. I want to fall into the choice for me. What if we look at this here? What if we get CMC superstar Jake Tonjes and then we have like Kyren and Corum? Well, at that point, we're going to say, well, we like the Rams to kind of be up ahead in game script, make San Fran throw it. McCaffrey, Tonjes, there we go. I'll take Purdy's projection. Maybe he plays. It's his toe injury. He didn't practice Tuesday. It doesn't bode well for Thursday, but to my knowledge, he hasn't been ruled out yet.
No, not yet. I think they're going to want him to play in this game, especially against divisional opponent here. Listen, 49ers, for all their injuries, are still very much in the mix. I know it's very early in the season, only 4 weeks in, but I think you have to say that it's a surprise how well the 49ers have played to this point. So they're not trying to punt a game away, especially against a division rival, which could come down at the end of the season, some sort of tiebreaker. So I think we're going to see Brock Purdy this week.
Those divisional wins matter. I say, let's push our luck here. Let's go one more spin and see what we can do. Hey, the kicker does show up in the flex. Look at that.
Oh,
okay. Well, that's fun. Devontae Adams, the numbers for Adams this year, the targets have been good, but him and Stafford are just a little bit off every single time. But the other thing is he's been pretty consistent. I believe it's 50 plus in every game this year, and he scored in 3 of 4 as well. It is a small slate. Stafford does keep his target tree pretty consolidated there. I feel like it'd be foolish to not lock in Devontae Adams.
I love Devontae Adams. I said before the season started, and I'm sure, like Hot Takes Exposed or Fantasy Receipts or one of these guys will pull this up, where I said I'd rather have Devontae Adams in the 3rd than Puka in the 1st, because I feel you're going to get almost the same production by the time the season ends out of Devontae Adams. And that could very well happen. I mean, Nakua gets hurt seemingly every year. So I love Devontae Adams. If you want to get him in this lineup and lock him in, I'm all for that. Because I think he's going to score this week. He's very, very close every week. They look at him more in the end zone than they do Puka Nakua. Nakua's got to break something to really score or get a handoff. They're looking to get the ball in Devontae Adams' hands.
Well, if you look at that Titans game a few weeks back, it was like outside the 20s, it was Puka. And then it was just force feed Devontae Adams in the red zone. Honestly, almost to their demise a little bit because they couldn't connect. They couldn't score in the end zone. And then obviously last week, what we see, Puka gets the touchdown and goes. So I love Devontae Adams as well. I think Devontae Adams might be my highest drafted receiver in seasonal drafts this year. The value is too good, and I loved it. So now as we look at this here, so here's where I think I can make the argument where we do lock in Stafford. Okay. Who's to say we don't lock in Stafford and Josh Carty and just have a kicker? Because in this contest, you do have to be a little bit different. What if everybody does go for the Devontaes, the Kyrens, the Pukas, the McCaffreys? Maybe someone has an affinity for Jake Tonjes, like I seem to have all of a sudden just picked up since we started recording here. What if Carty is the differentiator in this essentially a showdown slate with 2 teams on it? So you get Stafford, you get Kyren, you get Adams, you have Carty, and then who's to say that we don't get a Tonjes or a CMC and a Puka on these next 2 spins, and it's a full-on Rams assault? There's worse ways to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're building a DFS lineup in Showdown because we're at the mercy of the spins here. So I like what you're saying. They're being a little bit different, getting Cardi. And Cardi's a good player, by the way. I mean, he's got the ability to hit from long range. He's hit 3 field goals from 40 plus already this year. If you look at the last 3 weeks, 10, 17, 9 points. He's a good player. Conditions in San Francisco should be fine. So, hopefully it's not a lot of crazy wind. I'm for it. Let's lock him in.
I like it. Let's lock in Cardi. Let's lock in Stafford. And then obviously it's Puka, it's CMC, it's something along those lines with the last spin.
Oh, God.
And you don't get that. Well, hey, yeah, you can't win them all. So, I mean, I don't even know what to say. I was trying to come up with like a positive spin to that.
Listen,
I got
getting a guy. Is that Luke Farrell? I believe is his
the guy
name?
who lost the fumble last week, I believe.
I mean, you talk about wanting to be different. Nobody's playing this guy. And it's not to say he can't catch a touchdown pass in this game.
Sure.
He absolutely could catch 3 balls for 20 yards and a touchdown. No question. Yep. And then, I'll text you during the game when it happens. I'll be like, see, nobody wanted Luke Farrell. I don't even know if his first name is Luke. It could be Larry. We're going to call him Larry Farrell from now on.
If he scores, so his name is actually Luke. If he scores, he's Luke. And last week he did go 2 for 20, and he actually scored back in week 2. If he scores, he's Luke. If he has a bad week, it screws us over. He is now Larry Farrell from now on. So that's what it'll be.
And Juwan Jennings, what are we going to do if he plays again? But this is our different lineup. Nobody wants to play these guys.
Yep, absolutely. Let's go one more. We got to get a Puka lineup. That just has to happen, or CMC lineup, or both,
or Kyle Juszczyk.
Okay, well, we'll lock in Kyron. Here's what I got to ask you. I've said Jake Ton just 3 times in this episode. I don't know if there's any show in the world where Jake Ton just has been said. His name's been said 3 times.
Look at that hair.
Do we lock him in? Who else is there?
I know. I got to look and see what the hell's going on with the 49ers here. Let me look at this. I want to see the last few weeks on the season. I mean, he's run 62% of the routes. He's got 17% end zone targets, so they are kind of looking at him down there.
Yeah.
He's averaging 9 PPR points a week. It's not the worst thing in the world.
2 touchdowns on the year.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing is, let's say those other players don't play. Because I highly doubt Ricky Pearsall plays in this game, and it doesn't seem like Jennings may either. If they throw a long bomb to God knows whoever they picked up from the parking lot, to play wide receiver, you get a pass interference. You got the ball at the 1-yard line now. Boom, let's throw Jake Tongas.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm the Tonjas truther here, I guess. So I'm locking him in. Screw it. Tonjas is gonna find the end zone in this one. And looking at it here too, look at who the Rams have played tight end wise. It was Dalton Schultz in week 1 who couldn't shake anybody in I don't know, whatever to say someone is immobile and unathletic is. That's Dalton Schultz. Chikakonko in week 2, Dallas Goedert in week 3, and then Tyler Warren obviously got to him a little bit in week 4. They haven't exactly outside of the last 2 matchups had a murderer's row of tight ends.
No, I mean Tyler Warren was the only guy to get over 35 yards on him. So they're doing a good job. They're fast. They've got really fast linebackers. They can cover on the back end. So let's see who we get with spin number 2 here.
Jeez. We can't get Puka or CMC.
I haven't seen him come up once.
No. Anybody here worth locking?
No. I don't. I mean, Blake Corum, that's the ultimate, put a backup in there. Maybe the lead guy gets hurt and then Corum goes off, but.
Or Rams get up big and they just save Kyron and ride Corum.
It happens. You see all the time in these games where Blake Corum late in the second half, they're up 10 or whatever, and there's like, whatever, you got the drive, go score.
Yeah. Let's lock in Corum. Let's see what happens. We'll let it play out from there. Oh, we almost had it.
We got CMC at least.
All right, CMC, you get Whittington, who's involved a little bit. Brock Purdy. All right, we're going one more. 3rd time's a charm, real quick. We're gonna rapid fire this one for Puka. And then we'll see no pure. So, okay, I just said rapid fire. I'm going to take that back. Pearsall's 12.2 projected points. If he doesn't play, that could be one of the higher totals from this game. So, listen, there's no moral victories or anything, but, I'm not opposed to locking in Pearsall getting that 12, assuming he doesn't play because he didn't practice Monday or Tuesday and he's got the knee issue.
What do you think of Kendrick Bourne here? Kendrick Bourne, excuse me. knows the offense. They bring him back. Someone's got to play. So I mean, he could go out there and see 90% of the snaps this week.
Yeah, and the Rams, I'm looking at it here quick, about 3, 6, not about 10th most fantasy points per game to wide receivers. Someone's got to do it. So let's zig another zag. Instead of Pearsall, let's go Bourne. Have Kyron and Bourne after the first spin.
Yeah.
And
Here we go. Now we're talking.
All right, we'll lock in Devontae. With Devontae and Kyron, let's lock in Stafford. And then can we get the magical spins of all with Puka and CMC? This is the last one for good luck. You want Puka and CMC, you get Blake Corum and Tyler Higbee. That's how it plays. But hey, you can't win them all. We never saw Puka once, although most people didn't see this because it was before we started recording. The first spin that we did before we recorded, just to give you a lay of the land, give you, rejog that memory a little bit. Puka showed up on that first one.
Oh man.
We wasted a good bullet before we started recording.
The algorithm's like, nah, you passed on that once, Playboy. We're not giving it back to you.
Yep, you got Puka once, you don't get him again, and instead you'll get force-fed Blake Corum, and honestly, we got Kyron in every single one.
Yeah.
You will get Kyron, and you will like it.
Yeah, we got to get Kyron. We got to get Blake Corum. So Rams onslaught, and the dogs are for it. They're all Rams onslaught. Big Blake Corum fans over there at the Conway house.
I will say, and the one dog. Dog's going nuts. The one dog is named after the Rams for Cooper Kupp. Just hold on a second.
Tremendous.
It's yeah. So I got Texan and I got Cooper.
All right, dog. Cooper, bark twice if you think Blake Corum's going to score.
One.
What?
Oh, there was a little one.
All right.
There was a little one. Texan growled though. He didn't like it. Texan didn't like that.
He's on the Tyler Higbee Tyler Higbee bus. Is Tyler Higbee still in the league, by the way? Like,
he is. Texas ground though. He just wants Nick Caley to call a good game for once. But anyway, I digress. But Drake, we got 3 spins there, none with Puka except for the one before we started recording. Thank you so much for joining. Sorry we couldn't get Puka. Why don't you let everyone know where they can find you over on X and with all your fantasy football content this season?
Yeah, so check me out at Drake Fantasy on X, Twitter, whatever you're doing, at Drake Fantasy Football on Instagram. I'm even doing TikTok now. Can you believe that in my old age, at Drake Fantasy? You can check me out with John Hansen doing the Fantasy Points podcast every Monday. Then I write articles for Fantasy Points, The Huddle, Sports Kita, and Fantasy Pros. I'm doing some videos and all kinds of stuff for those guys. And a Sunday mid-game TikTok live stream. So if you're bored during the game and you want to vent about your team, I'm there on the TikTok streets for Fantasy Pros.
Look at you go. You're just everywhere all the time. I absolutely love it. I'll give you a follow once again over on X at Drake Fantasy. You can find me over on X at Colby R. Conway. And if you want to try to get Puka in the Thursday night football contest, unlike we were able to, download the Fantasy Spin app today. You can find it in the Google Play or the Apple App Store. Make sure you get that app downloaded. Play for cash, play for tokens, spin to win, and have some fun. And we look forward to seeing you on the leaderboard. What's up, y'all? Hope you enjoyed the content. For the avoidance of doubt, please note that I, Colby Conway, am a DFS player entering these contests under the username Colby Conway. The strategies and recommendations in this video do not necessarily reflect the views of Fantasy Spin. Please play responsibly and visit fantasyspin.com/responsible gaming to take advantage of Fantasy Spin's responsible gaming resources.